Every year, numerous lives are lost, unfortunately, due to drowning incidents. It's important that we know how to help somebody safely when they show signs that they might be drowning. The first thing to think about is recognizing a true drowning victim. Many times we think that they yell for help, which is not the case. In many times, they are so scared and they're already gulping water, they can't actually scream out. So their head's kind of bobbing, their hands are flailing, but they tend not to make any noise. So we need to understand what a drowning victim looks like. Once we've identified that, we're going to use this following system to safely rescue a potentially drowning victim. We reach, we throw, but we don't go, which means we don't swim out to them, because that's the number one way to become a second victim. Unless you're a trained and certified lifeguard that knows how to do that safely, we should only be reaching and throwing to rescue a drowning victim. So let's show you how that works. Almost always there's towels around a pool or lake. What a towel allows us to do is extend our arm. But before we use that, let's say that the person, and I've got a helper here to demonstrate, is just a little ways away from the side of the pool. So as she's out there, I can go to the side of the pool and reach my hand out. If she can reach my hand, I stay low to the ground, I keep my center of gravity low, I can pull this person to safety so that they can climb out. Or they could maybe go down to a ladder, walking down the side of the pool until they can get to a ladder and climb out themselves. But what if they're a little further away and I can't reach them? My helper's going to go out just a little further. We're going to kind of swirl this towel around to make it more of like a rope. And now I'm going to swing it, one end of it out to the potentially drowning victim. They grab the towel and I draw it in. And once they're to the side, I help them out of the water. But now let's say that they're even further out and I can't reach them even with a towel. In many cases, a pool has this kind of pole nearby for rescuing purposes. But what if it's a private pool and they're not required to have a life-saving pole? Well, check for a leaf skimmer. Most leaf skimmers have a pole so that they can reach the center area. That pole tends to be able to telescope in and out. So as far as they're out, you could maybe extend the pole and then retighten it so that you can reach the actual drowning victim. Now let's see what this looks like as I try to use this pole to help save a victim who's out even further. Why don't you go out a little bit further and we'll show them how it's done. But now in this case, my posture changes. I stand up, I put my forward leading foot out, and I lean my weight back against my rear leg so that I have a counterbalance as I begin to pull this person in. Instead of jabbing them with the pole, I extend it out and I lower it down beside the victim. Now they grab the pole, and as I pull, I lean back and I bring them to the side of the pool where I can then assist them out of the pool and to safety. But it gets worse. What if now they're so far out, I can't reach them with a pole, or I don't have a pole? All I have is a life jacket or maybe even a noodle, which is really not meant to save a life. But if it's all I have and it floats, I'm going to use it to throw to them so they have something to help buy them some time. But if I had the choice, I would rather use something that's certified as a life-saving device and will actually help keep them up above the water so that they can paddle to safety or buy us time for emergency rescue services to help get them out of the pool. This next demonstration will show you what this looks like. If my helper were to go out a little bit further, I'm going to take the flotation device and now I'm going to throw it out into the vicinity of the flailing person. So they start flailing and I throw it out to them and they grab onto it. Now I'm going to teach them to kick their feet. Kick your feet, come to the side of the pool, keep coming, you're doing great. Good job, way to go. And now I can help them out of the pool and to safety. If you're concerned that they took in some water and they're coughing, keep EMS on the way so that we can check their breath sounds and make sure they don't have an aspiration pneumonia developing. If it was a drowning where they're unresponsive and pulled out of the water, that's when we're going to begin CPR. But remember, call 911 as soon as you think there's an emergency. If it's resolved, you can always send them away. But if it's a real emergency, you can never speed them back up. These are some tips on how to help save people when they're having fun in the sun or at the side of the pool.